journey started at the Honolulu International Airport, where I'd have approximately about an hour wait before loading onto the plane, and then about a 6-hour flight to Phoenix, Arizona. I woke up just before landing, and the view out the window was amazing. After landing, my ride showed up. We stopped at a store real quick, grabbed a few things, and headed north to Flagstaff up I-17. But before we even got that far, over at the store, we saw something pretty cool. This is an old Bentley that was just sitting in the back end of the parking lot, and I thought it was absolutely spectacular to see. Now, back to heading north. About a half an hour into our drive, we hit a massive traffic jam that stopped us for 45 minutes. A car had apparently caught on fire and had burned all the way to the ground right between two of the passes. So once we were able to get past that, we were back on our journey. Started seeing more and more people that were actually heading to the Expo. It was actually really exciting to see, and nothing made me more happier than seeing the Flagstaff sign after entering the city. It has been about 4 years since I've seen Flagstaff, so it was absolutely fantastic. After getting into Flagstaff, I made a beeline to Buffalo Park. It is one of my favorite places to visit when in Flagstaff. The park is so big and is just absolutely gorgeous. There's nothing but views of the San Francisco peaks all around. The park is very well maintained, and there are trails that just take off everywhere. And you can't forget that smell of the ponderosa pine. It just absolutely takes your breath away and just reminds you how fresh the air is up there in Flagstaff. As I mentioned before, Buffalo Park has many different trails within the trail system itself. The main trail is about 2.2 miles long and has many different types of exercise stations along the path to keep your fitness up. But from that, all sorts of other trails spider off in different directions. It's just a massive web of trails, and there's a particular trail that will head, well, most of them do, but there's certain ones. But there is a particular trail that takes you over to the fire road that climbs up the San Francisco peaks to the top. And if you've never then been up it or have traveled to it, you definitely should, because it is a super big highlight for wanting to see the whole town of Flagstaff and just how small the town is within the Ponderosa Pines. Later on in this video, you'll see one of the other trails that I took that takes you kind of up that way and just shows you one heck of an overview of Flagstaff. morning, everybody. We're currently in Flagstaff, Arizona, getting ready for Overland Expo West 2022, and I am enjoying the morning. I got my coffee. It's time to continue to enjoy this morning before the expo begins. But look at this view of the San Francisco peaks right here. Absolutely fantastic. Guys, soon we'll be at Overland Expo West. When I got to Overland Expo West, you were greeted at the beginning with many different vehicles. Got to see some iconic YouTubers like Drive the Globe. He was tucked away over in the corner, but right in sight. Got to see Overland X and his 392 parked right up front. Right by the buildings you find KC Highlights, Brad from Trail Recon, his Bronco was sitting out there. They had a cool old International, which we'll see a little bit later, and Marco's JK tucked back there with also with all of KC Highlights' awesome cool lights and displays. There were so many vendors here at Overland Expo West. It was fantastic. And I did come across MagnaFlow and some of their awesome exhausts that they have come up with. And right next door to them was Icon Suspension. And they had a really cool display that they could actually control from a phone for one of their shock systems. So it's kind of cool to be able to mess with that and see some of the new products that they're coming out for not just Jeeps but also the new Ford Broncos as well. And did I mention there were vendors? I mean tons. Though right here you're seeing Marco's Jeep, just everywhere you turn there was vendors, people that talk to, amazing products to see, new and inventive things, and just cool rigs that people have just done up, whether it was for the show or that they live in every day or travel every day. And just the solutions or fixes that they've come up to with little problems or just things that they've created to help make their day every better was absolutely cool to see. Did come across some very old vehicles out there at the expo, and it was actually really cool. This old Bronco over by the Falcon tires was absolutely pristine, and that turquoise blue just popped off of the sunlight. And then you came across the International Scout over there at Center Force, and it is as cool as it is in the YouTube videos. Absolutely monster, and a running that Cummins turbo diesel, and it is outstanding. And then there was this old Army ambulance, which really touched home, being in the medical field from the military. Oh, and these 3 Jeeps right here, keep an eye on them, because you'll see them again later in this video, and they were some of my favorite modifications out here at the Expo. So it's later in the video. Here they are. This is from American Safari. They do an extension to the back of Jeep Wranglers where it adds an extra 15 inches to the back of the Jeep Wrangler, but completely transforms it with a whole new hardtop that's got the tent already, the rooftop tent already integrated into it, and they have come up with some just really unique features of turning the back of the Jeep into a seating area and just an all-around, making it a true camper that you can just become one. You know, people have these super huge off-road rigs that they've created just to get to the, you know, get the same kind of creature comforts, though it's a little more spacious. This Jeep is a game changer, having that extra 15 inches to the back, because it just provides you more room and different things that you can do to it. And let's face it, having that rooftop tent already mounted makes weight so much lighter. But one of the coolest, to me at least, one of the coolest modifications you could do. I did get to catch a moment of Brad from Trail Recon filming Marco from Overland X. It was actually super cool to see how Brad was doing his filming and seeing how Marco was cooking from the back of his Jeep. You always see them on their channels, but actually being able to see it in person was super interesting and just a great experience. And then following that, I actually got to sit in on a conversation where Brad had a meeting with people and talked about trip planning and things to kind of do on the trail and how to best go about planning for a trip, and it was super informative and really appreciated it. Thanks, Brad. did check out some of the off-road trailers that they did have available at the expo, and let me tell you, some of these things, extremely spacious and nice. Just this one in general, I was able to get up inside it because it wasn't super busy, and just the amount of space that they have created and just the luxury that you could have off-road is awesome.